Yeah, I'll wake up at like 5 or 6 every morning, but then I have to force myself to go back to sleep because I work nights. So it's like,
Yeah, that
all right.
sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Nights.
getting used to it, but
Yeah. I know we talked a little bit about
we did.
night shifts being the worst.
Yeah. It's good for vampires, but not for
Yeah.
me.
Tony, not a vampire.
Just not. I'm not. I feel like I'd be good at it if I was, but I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Italian vampires now. The garlic issue would be
Oh, that
difficult.
would suck. That would suck. Yo, so I was talking to my friend and she was saying that you can only become a vampire if one, you're bitten, but two, if you're in love with the vampire.
Like you both have to be fulfilled, both
Like, yeah,
requirements.
you have to be like in love with each other. And that's the only time you turn into a vampire. Is that a thing that you've heard of?
I don't know.
See, okay, that's what I'm looking for though, because she was like, "Oh yeah, everybody knows that," and I was like, "I don't know that. I think you're the only one who like knows that. I think you watched like a specific vampire thing, like it was the first one you saw when you were a kid, and you're like, oh, all the vampires are like this."
Yeah, I don't think that's true for like general vampire lore.
I don't think so either.
Is it a Twilight thing though?
It sounds like a Twilight thing.
Justin would know.
Well-
I think he's the expert on Twilight here.
Far from it, but I know some. I don't think every turning involved love, even in Twilight.
Okay, yeah, because Twilight vampires, like, yeah, how do they turn? Is it just getting bitten, or like,
Yeah, it's
is there a
getting bitten.
ritual? Okay.
And I think it's not immediate either. It has to be like you have to be bitten for a certain amount of time for the process to go through all the way.
So there's like they have like vampire soaking in
Yeah.
order for it to like take effect.
Yeah, I don't remember that part super well, but
That's a weird detail.
yeah, the girl is like gonna die, and he bites her to like suck something out of her blood, but like if he does it too long, she's gonna turn or something. I don't remember.
So she got like a snake bite or something. It's like a Western, and it's like I'm trying to keep this a Western and not like a vampire movie right now.
Yeah,
Trying to like straddle that. Yeah,
I don't think it was a snake, but I think she was poisoned somehow.
that's pretty funny.
It's been a long time. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Do you want to record the podcast? Well, I mean, vampires would have been appropriate. It is almost Halloween.
That's true.
Yeah, I did have my backup going. I could use that as a preamble, but anyway, this is Rock Hard Caucus, and we're going to talk about politics and money in politics and money spent on bombarding the general population with politics in the form of campaign advertisements, which I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of on TV if you're old, or YouTube if you're not as old, or what? I don't know, TikTok if you're young.
Yeah, TikTok. It's still legal, folks.
Yeah, it's still legal until the election, right? Or until the it's like January 2025. Unless TikTok's lawyers can convince the United States government to chill.
Right. Or they need to send the TikTok army to Washington. Oh, TikTok January 6th. Why don't they do that?
They absolutely should do that.
They
It's a
could-
fucking travesty.
It would be more effective than Trump January 6th.
Yeah.
Okay, reminder, if you didn't watch the last episode, the video version, you should have, and you should be doing that now too, because we're going to be watching a bunch of videos, and if you're listening to the podcast, you're going to want to see this, I think. So go check it out. There's a link to YouTube in the episode description if you're on the audio feed.
Yeah, this is a serialized episode, so there will be spoilers for the campaign ads episode 1.
Yeah.
Last week on Rock Hard Caucus. Oh, wait, I can actually do that. Last week on Rock Hard Caucus.
That's offensive.
That's all I got is those two prepped.
When we were recording last week, Justin accidentally started playing the Roxanne theme, and he played like less than a second of it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's the Roxanne theme." Like it's imprinted in my memory, so that all I need to hear is just a split second, and I know.
Yeah, you just hear the first guitar strum, and you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I should mention Toni is here with us,
Hello.
giving us an outsider's perspective on Iowa politics. But I will be doing a segment on Toni's home state politics as well. So look forward to some Massachusetts ads, everybody. Everyone. They're going to love them.
All political ads are good. They're all valuable and serve an important purpose, and so it's our duty to bring them to the wider public.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I said that, you're probably being bombarded with this, but I personally don't see that much because I orient my life towards seeing as few ads as possible. So exactly. I actually have to hunt these down.
Yes. Install uBlock Origin on your browser and you don't have to see any of this shit. You can watch YouTube and not have to see any ads, which is awesome, and not have to pay Google, which is also awesome.
Yeah. Well, to start us off, I pulled up an old one because we were missing him last week. I got an old Rick Stewart ad from 2022. This is the libertarian who ran for governor last time around.
Our dear friend.
His ads are great. If you weren't listening to the show back then, you missed out on this. And so here's Rick Stewart.
What the hell, Kim? Are you trying to kill our soldiers? Kim, I know you say you support the troops, and you do. You support sending them overseas to fight and die. But how about when they come home and they're sick and they have PTSD? There's 5,000 or 6,000 of them every year committing suicide, Kim. God put medicines on this planet for us to use. It's in the Bible. Why do you think you're smarter than God, Kim? Psychedelic assisted therapy, Kim. Remember those words. These medicines are completely natural, and they've been with us for thousands of years. Ayahuasca, psilocybin, peyote. They can save a veteran's life within 3 days at almost no expense. Kim, you stood up for medical freedom in Iowa, and I really appreciate that. But now you're not for our freedom to use the medical products that we do want to use. What are you waiting for? A couple more dead soldiers? Kim, our ancestors weren't stupid. They used these plants because they were safe and effective. So when are we going to get psychedelic-assisted therapy in Iowa, Kim? Easy answer. The day I'm governor. I'm Rick Stewart, and I approve this message.
Oh my God.
Man,
hell
we
yeah,
missed
dude.
out.
There is nothing that even compares to that. Like any of the other ads that we've watched are just completely limp and flaccid compared to that incredible ad.
That was strong, dude. That was strong.
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got, I love drugs. I don't want soldiers to commit suicide. Thank you for not forcing me to take the vaccine. Just a master class in
how do the libertarians have better production values than any of the Democrats or Republicans? Like, how did that happen?
He has more passion than anyone else.
Yeah.
I also like you get him in different scenes. Like you got him in the car ranting.
In the car, yep, selfie camera car rant. Like he's speaking to his fucking base. They all do that.
Yes. Yeah. From the driver's seat, that's a good thing to include in there. I really liked how right after he says committing suicide, it's just a picture of a gun.
Like, pointed at the camera.
Yeah. They commit suicide with some of these. Huh? Striking imagery.
Yeah, with the weapons that God gave us.
Are you smarter than God, Kim?
I just like the idea that like ayahuasca can save a veteran's life within 3 days. Like, where did the 3 day time frame come from?
Do mushrooms for 3 days, your life will completely turn around.
Yeah, I mean, you might have an epiphany. You might realize that you do want to vote for the Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
They got to deploy the soldiers with the ayahuasca so that they have them on duty.
Yeah. They need their bullets to be laced with ayahuasca.
Change the world.
Yeah, that's how you really spread peace.
Okay, I am not very organized this time around. I just have a folder fucking full of ads. I'm going to throw up some state stuff here. We watched a Nate Bolton attack ad last week where it was about him trying to grab your tax dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
Because Nate Bolton is a state senator who was groping women basically, and that's why he dropped out of a gubernatorial primary a few years ago. But he's still in office, and I thought I would give him maybe some equal time, play one of his ads promoting himself, and so we'll see how he portrays himself to sort of counteract his reputation.
After 10 years together, let me tell you about the Nate Bolton I know. A proud girl dad, you bet he stood up for public schools and AEA.
Okay, hang on. Girl dad. What do you think about that term, girl dad?
I don't see why you choose to use girl dad when you can just say dad. Like, maybe that's erasing women or something, but like, it doesn't really seem necessary.
Yeah, I'm not a parent, so I don't know what it's like, but I just, whenever I hear the terms like boy mom or girl dad or boy dad or whatever, I don't like it. Just like,
yeah.
What happens when you have multiple kids and like the genders are mixed?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Unfortunately, you're just a dad then.
Then you're a
Regular
boy
dad.
girl dad. You're a boy girl they them dad.
Yeah.
Hey, dad, yeah.
Yeah, they dad. Yeah, it's just this gender essentialism, I guess. It's just annoying. Like, get with the times, old man. You're not even a dad, you're just a parent.
Yeah, I think it's like, if you have children of the opposite gender than you are, then that's like that's a positive. Like,
right. That's supposed to be like, it says something about you. I mean, that's what they're trying to get at here, is that, well, he's a parent to daughters. Like, he can't possibly be.
Yeah, it definitely does, like, like, play into the, like, dads are, like, have to be, like, ultra protective over their daughters. But, like, fuck the sons. Like,
They can fend for themselves, yeah.
Yeah.
Is the son of a steelworker, Nate's fought for workers in the courtroom and the Capitol. And he defended every Iowa woman's right to access abortion, birth control, and IVF. I'm proud of that work, not just as his wife. After all, he's my senator too. Nate Bolton for Senate.
And of course, it ends with a shot of him talking to a cop. It was almost a pretty good ad, to be honest. And then it's like, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't forget, he does love the police.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of emphasis on protecting women and their reproductive rights, Again, he's got a history to overcome. This is good too. This is like an attack ad that Nate Bolton ran talking about his opponent. And I think you're going to actually really like this, especially the name of his opponent.
Amen and amen. That's Mike Pike, agreeing it was a mistake to send women to work and children to public schools.
What?
It checks out. Pike says,
I approach things from a biblical worldview.
What the?
He'd jail teachers over banned books, would have voted for Iowa's strict abortion
I
ban,
would have voted for that bill.
even blames worker shortages on abortion.
You have no one to replace them.
With politicians pushing more bans and school cuts, it's the wrong time to like Pike.
Amen.
Mike Pike. Really solid attack ad, too. I really like this. But all you really had to say is, I don't like Pike, because then it harkens back to classic slogans,
Yeah. Could have done like the Michael Jordan Nike campaign. Don't like Mike.
Yeah.
Don't do it like Mike.
Yeah. Let's spike Mike. Does that work? Like, let's spike Mike.
No, because spike could be like a positive thing too. It could be like spiking his poll numbers or something.
Sure. Let's impale Mike Pike with spikes, but then that's maybe too much.
Yeah, that might be a little too far. Rob Sand would disapprove of that.
Yeah, using his tweets against him. This is from 4 years ago too. And just for anyone who didn't take the time to read the tweet, he was quote tweeting a polite leader who said, just repeating what two of my favorite teachers, Banan and Michael, have already said. Two of the biggest mistakes Christians have made are 1, sending our women into the workforce, 2, sending our children into public schools. And this is what Mike Pike said amen and amen to. And hear me out. Let me get to the end of this before you get mad. I also don't think that we should be sending women into the workforce.
Yeah? Go on.
Because I don't think that we should be sending anyone into the workforce. Fuck work. Right?
Okay.
It's biblical.
I will admit, when I first saw this, and I just saw the 2 points, and I saw like 2020, and I was like, maybe this is cool.
Oh,
And
right.
then, you know,
Sending
then
women
it-
back to work. Yeah.
Right.
Sending children back into the schools. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That does recontextualize it a little bit. October of 2020.
Yeah, he's actually woke. Mike Pike's the woke candidate. They should call him Mike Woke.
If you're listening, Nate, run a Mike Woke ad. See how that plays in your district.
Woke.
Poke, moke, woke. There's also, this was kind of edgy. It had the woman's say, what the fuck, but it bleeped it. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give it up for that. I love swearing.
Yeah, they should have just taken the FCC hit. It would have made waves.
That would be awesome.
That's a good point. Yeah.
This ad only plays after 10 p.m.
Does the positive publicity outweigh the fine, you know?
Mm.
But you'd have to get the TV stations on board. I don't know if that would work.
Right, because they're the ones who would have to end up paying the fine. Even if
I guess
give
you
them
could
the money.
make some sort of backroom deal, to pay a fine for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's see a Mike Pike ad that he ran himself. This is all for Iowa State Senate, so I know Toni is thrilled and really excited to be learning about this.
I'm here for the love of the game.
As am I, of course. And as are you, Justin.
Uh-huh.
Dangerous Nate Bolton's extreme agenda is enough to give it the creeps. He voted to allow unchecked illegal immigrants to roam our communities and take our jobs. Bolton voted to allow doctors to perform irreversible gender-altering surgeries on minors. Nate Bolton even voted to force girls to compete against biological males and share private spaces with them, including girls' bathrooms and locker rooms. Dangerous Nate Bolton. His agenda isn't just wrong, it's unsafe.
Okay, so again,
Dude.
playing into his reputation as a creep.
Yeah, dude, they got that fucking Joker face shot at the end. Like,
Yes.
God damn.
And I mean, look, he can't help it. He looks like that. But
But he also acts like that, apparently.
yeah. But this shot I loved, the dude creeping through the blinds, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Although it looks like they're creeping on him because there's also a picture of him there.
True.
Yeah, they should have just like photoshopped that image behind the blinds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His little eyes peeking out.
And then this guy with the money, he just seems happy. I don't know what the problem is with him.
Yeah.
He got that bag. You know, people love that in this day and age.
Mm-hmm. And the voiceover was about like illegal immigrants taking our jobs. So I guess we're to believe that this, you know, he's not a white man, so we're supposed to feel racist right now, I think.
Mm.
But racism, we're supposed to feel racist, but like proudly racist, I think is what the ad wants us to feel as white Iowans. I just want to hear this woman's voice again at the beginning.
Dangerous Nate Bolton's extreme agenda is enough to give it the creeps.
Enough to give it a creeps.
Yeah, her inflections, very.
Enough to give you the creeps. Yeah, and you know, I support the there was a Senate file to force everyone into the same locker room. That was the text of the bill. It was
I was going to say, what are they complaining about? They're probably just complaining about unisex bathrooms. Like,
well, it's trans stuff. They're just mad about.
Well, right, but I mean, the actual bill, I think, was just like, what, there has to be like a unisex bathroom.
I don't fucking know. I didn't look up the bill, but
for students to use or something. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not what they're saying it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all I've got for that state Senate race. Let's talk about the president a little bit. Let me see. Oh, yeah, this is great. I just got this one last night.
So we're in the final stretch. It's coming down to this after years of waiting to take back our government and make America great again. This is it. Whatever you can give. Kamala is a disaster. She won't do what's right. She's not going to do what's right. She hasn't got the ability to do it. It's not going to happen. So whatever you can give, this is it. If you have the money, do it. And if you don't have the money, don't even think about doing it. Live your life and enjoy it.
Oh,
time to
interesting.
Contribute to campaigns.
I'm gonna.
But if you do have final stretch, let's do it. We're going to make America great again. Thank you.
Honestly, that's pretty smart. Like, I wish that the ads I see, or, like the text messages I get from Democrats were like, we realize that you might actually need this money for other things. So, like, if you if you don't have the money, then don't donate to us because you got other things to worry about.
I mean, look at Donald, dude. Look at Donald. Like, he spent all his money elsewhere. He can't afford like editing, like they have in these big money state elections. Like, he's just on his phone recording this. He understands pulling yourself up by your bootstraps.
Is this on a plane? Was this recorded on a plane?
That's what I was thinking.
It looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah. They just someone okay, we gotta beg for money now. Talking to the phone.
Hammer out an ad real quick.
Yeah. Honestly, the tone of this is kind of refreshing because, I'm getting texts all the time that are hysterical. Like, if you don't give us $5 right now, we might as well die. Fuck.
It is your fault and your fault alone if Kamala Harris loses this election. And you're going to hell if you don't vote for her.
Hang on, let me pull up my spam and blocked section of my text messages.
You get the Trump ones too, which is awesome.
I got a lot yesterday, and let me just say the tone of the Trump texts do not match this video. I got 2 of them within an hour of each other that just say from Trump and then all caps, I was at McDonald's yesterday.
Oh man, do we know how that McDonald's thing's playing over? Like, I saw that it happened. Do people care? Are people buying it?
I don't know. I think it's a media thing that people are still talking about it, but I can't imagine that anyone really cares about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen much about it other than a couple of memes.
I mean, I think it's an objectively good idea for his campaign to do that. And I have seen people complain about it oh, he's eating at McDonald's, making low class, jokes or whatever.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
I've seen a little bit of that, which is again playing into their hands.
They will never learn their lessons.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I don't think that many people care. Especially because it was just a complete, obviously a publicity stunt.
Oh yeah, it was roped off and all that. I don't know if it was literally roped off, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was closed. They had a sign on the door. It's this is not open to the public. I'm sure they screened whoever did go to the McDonald's that day.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what this is. Let me just play it.
Why is she running ads pandering to Palestine? We must stand up to anti-Semitism. We say no more.
Okay, yeah, really short, a 6-second thing. Who is this from? Future Coalition PAC. I did not have time to look up who that is, but yeah. Just 6 seconds, why is she pandering to Palestine? Is that what you feel Kamala Harris is doing? Last time we watched a Snapchat ad where she was talking about Gaza a little bit.
No. Someone's got to say no. I figured it was rhetorical, but I'll just get it on record. I don't think that's what's happening.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so the future Coalition PAC, I just Googled them, and they are, I'm sorry, I DuckDuckGo'd them.
Thank you.
And they're, thanks. They're also running ads in Michigan touting Kamala Harris's pro-Israel credentials. So they are playing both sides of the field,
yeah,
which is only appropriate.
It seems like they maybe want her to lose if they're doing that in Michigan, right?
Yeah,
because that's where that issue seems to have the most impact.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats are kind of relying on Arab and Muslim voters in Michigan. Well, if you judge them by their actions, it seems like they don't give a fuck, but I think it will have an impact in Michigan.
Yep.
I had some labor-focused ads. Let me play a couple of those. And these are related to the presidential race.
Workers today are working harder than they ever have. They're trying to raise families. They're trying to create a future for themselves. And the fact that we can't even afford to buy the homes that we're building is a sad day in America. The last 3.5 years have been very painful. The current administration playing favoritism is just driving up cost. Forced unionization is shoved down your throat and you don't have a choice? That's wrong. They have no idea what it takes to run a business.
Yeah, fucking Civil Works is, I guess, the business that Donnie here owns, and that's Works spelled W-E-R-X. I don't like the sound of that.
No, but it's cool. It's civil, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to guess, I'm gonna assume that this is a company that's based somewhere where they, you know, contract all their public works. Let me Google this real quick. You guys can.
Sure, Civil Works, yeah. So this is the business owner complaining that workers are working harder than they ever have, and they can't afford the homes they are building. It's like, don't you have something to do with that? Like, you pay them, and you are the one like getting the contracts to do this, right?
Mm-hmm. How much do you make, by the way?
And not to hijack, I know we're getting to Massachusetts later, but they're doing a lot of this shit. We have a measure out here right now to give restaurant workers like a minimum wage on top of tips instead of the thing where they reduce it.
Yeah.
All the shit against it, it's always like a restaurant owner being oh, this is going to be people making less. Like I want my employees to make more. That's why I'm against it. It's like they always do this shit. They always pull out the business owner to speak against it.
Mm-hmm. Because those are the only people who understand like what their employees are actually going through is the business owner.
And we can't. The employees don't have time to worry about this politics bullshit. Don't bother them. They're working.
Mm-hmm. They're working too hard. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Donnie Gibson opposes a forced unionization.
Yeah.
And look at this guy. Look at this hard hat, bearded goggles, man. Orange vest, gray camo.
Camo under the orange vest is
that's a statement.
Signals.
That's a statement.
That's a pretty good look.
Whoa, there's a floating vest. Oh my god.
You know what that is? That's him being burdened by a public regulation forcing him to wear high vis. So he's rebelling by wearing something low vis underneath.
Yeah. But I mean, just look at him. Look at his face. He doesn't want to be in a union.
No, he's going to have to vote for his rights. Like, that should just be taken care of by the boss.
Just the thought of being in a union makes me frown. Yeah. Well, I think I have a labor ad kind of coming at it from the other side. So let's see what they say here.
800,000 plus jobs coming back. To me, that's making America greater than it's ever been. It's about creating opportunity, and we're not going to get that with Donald Trump. Kamala is the right person for the job, plain and simple.
Wait, who is this guy? 800,000 jobs for me.
Yeah. 800,000
take
jobs.
A break. Go on vacation, dude.
Coming back to me. Yeah, I think this guy's name is Oleg. I think there's a 30-second version of this ad.
Oleg?
I
okay, so
find.
he's related to Clell, I assume. Oleg and Clell.
Yeah. This is Clell's distant cousin.
That's offensive.
Since we're, invoking his name, we should hear from him. He is alive, by the way. I said on the last episode he's probably dead, but I looked him up the other day.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Clell lives. Yeah, I don't know. This is sort of a standard Democrats, touting whatever pro-labor stuff they have. Get a guy that looks like this and plays pool to talk up the Democrats, and you got yourself an ad right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love nothing more than like an
bar.
Yeah.
They call him Mr. Billiards out on the job site.
But yeah, a guy with a beard, bald guy with a beard is like Democrat ad catnip. Like they know that's the guy that they need.
Yep, that guy's saying actually Kamala's going to make America great again.
Yeah,
that's what they want. That's what they really want.
Yeah. Actually, let me revise the thing I said before. They call him cue ball on the job site because then it works in two ways.
Nice.
Okay, Tony, you mentioned Massachusetts, and this kind of came to my attention because the Massachusetts Democratic Party tweeted about a debate that Elizabeth Warren had with her Senate opponent the other night. And what's his name? It's John?
Deaton. John Deaton.
John Deaton?
Yeah.
They were they were like catching him in a lie because I guess he's pretending he wouldn't vote for Trump, but before he said he would vote for Trump. And I was just very confused by it because it's like, yeah, he's the Republican running for Senate. Why would he say that?
I know, it's groundbreaking. I mean, I will say, like, on an anecdotal level, like, Republicans do feel a bit cucked, I guess would be the word around here. Like, they do feel like they kind of have to water themselves down, you know, in just casual situations. So maybe that's what that is. Maybe that's what he's doing. But I don't know. I don't have full context on it.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that because, you know, Massachusetts votes for Democrats generally, but you did have a Republican governor not long ago. So I'm just not sure what's up with Massachusetts Republicans.
Well, yeah, when you get wider, the more likely it is for a Republican. Like, you know, I'm in the city. It tends to all go to Democrats, like most of the time. But the more you wrap in the suburbs, I mean, if you go to the suburbs, you can feel it. Like, if you go out west a few miles, you start seeing Trump signs and shit. Like, those people are around here, but, you know, they also lose more.
Sure. So I did pull up a few ads from Warren and from her opponent, John Deaton. I'll give your friend Liz the first word here. This is a recent ad of hers called Get Things Done. This is everyone's favorite thing, is to get things done. That's what politics is made of, is accomplishing tasks.
Right.
When Democrats had the House, Senate, and White House, we got things done. A huge infrastructure bill, a $35 cap on insulin, biggest climate package in the history of the world, paid for by my minimum tax on billionaire corporations. Then the Republicans took control of the House and created chaos. If they win in November, they'll do more harm. On November 5th, vote for Democrats. I'm Elizabeth Warren, and I approve this message.
There's some really solid turntable action going on in that.
Right. She brought the beats. Yeah.
They got Sid Wilson up in there. I wasn't sure about all these school buses. I don't know what that's about. Oh, okay. They have electric school buses. That's what's going on there. Okay. Seems pretty solid. I don't know. How do people feel about Liz out in your neck of the woods?
I mean, they like her, you know, that if you got someone who's like a solid Democrat, they're pretty enthusiastic about her, you know, especially out here. Like, she does actually live like close to us. So they're like, oh yeah, Liz from Cambridge, whatever. So she's not disliked. If you got people more to the left, you know, you can kind of imagine that enthusiasm dips a little bit, but I think it's the same as anywhere, as far as I know.
Yeah. She does seem to be, I don't know, one of the more popular of the Democratic senators, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to choose, like, if I had to make a Democrat tier list, she would be towards the top. Like, I'm not like a Liz head, but, you know, she's not the worst person to be forced to vote for.
That's right. She's better than any of the candidates that we have.
Oh, but no doubt.
I miss talking about her on the podcast because, you know, we talked about her a lot in 2020 and like ideological differences between her and Bernie.
Yeah.
But now she just doesn't have any national presence at all.
Yeah, now none of that is relevant because we got our asses kicked.
Yeah, that's right. Not by her, though. Not by her. Let's be clear.
No.
She's too radical for the Democratic establishment.
Yeah. It is funny to think back on like the early days of the podcast when like some of our friends who like were listening to us were like Warren people. So I remember like trying to talk about it like without pissing them off.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely recall being like, I don't hate Elizabeth Warren. Like, she's probably the second best candidate or whatever. And then like that becoming like more and more like Like, fuck her. Like, she's betraying the entire, like, progressive coalition or left-wing coalition, like, which she absolutely did do. So
because there was no coalition.
Yeah.
It's just not a real thing.
That's true. It wasn't really a coalition. Yeah. She was always on, the centrist. She was always going to, like, tack to the center because that's who she is. I mean,
that's how you get things done. And speaking of get things done, so the same day that this Elizabeth Warren ad came out, which is called Get Things Done, her opponent, John Deaton, put out an ad called Get Things Done. And this is his version of Get Things Done. So like I said, everyone wants to get things done. This is what animates people politically, is getting things done. We love to hear about the things that got done or will get done or are being done. We love it.
Yeah.
Poverty, violence, a broken home. I've experienced it all, but I never quit.
Where the fuck is
I became
the
a Marine Corps officer, federal prosecutor, and I started a family. I'm running for Senate because I've walked in your shoes. I understand your struggles, and I will fight for a better future for you and your families. Just like Charlie Baker, I'm pro-choice and bipartisan. I will secure the border and reduce inflation. Elizabeth Warren points fingers. I get things done. I'm John Deaton, and I approve this message.
Damn. He needed the hip-hop backing track.
I know. The cadence of his voice, he's like trying to sound like Ice-T or something.
Yeah, he looks kind of like Ice-T. He looks like the white Ice-T, too.
Okay, so I noticed, like, right at the end, this pumpkin, very conspicuously in the background. When do you think they filmed this?
That's a good question. I guess it must have been recently.
Yeah,
when did this air?
They want you to think that they filmed this, like, the day it came out. And like back in August, they're like, find a fucking pumpkin.
Yeah, find us some dying plants.
Yeah. Other plants are not looking too good here.
Yeah. We want this to look fresh. And by fresh, I mean decaying. But you know what I mean, fresh for October.
Yeah. Before we recorded, Justin was saying I'm going to regret voting for Warren, which I apologize to listeners. I did, in fact, vote for Warren. But, I think, Justin, you probably wound it back. Specifically because I was going to bring this up. He found, a nice fucked up house to sit in front of for some reason. And that does appeal to, my lizard brain. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know fucked up houses.
Yeah, I used to live here.
Yeah. Oh, got an E
until
from
Elizabeth
some kind
Warren took office.
Yeah, until Elizabeth Warren gave me a fucking E on the safety inspection and condemned my house. Made me move.
So this house is not suitable for humans to live in.
I just woke up. This is my house. I'm just like you, and I'm like Charlie Baker. You all love Charlie Baker, don't you?
Yeah, I regret saying that, Massachusetts Republicans are cucked just because I don't like using the word cucked. But again, can you blame me?
Yeah, right.
I also, he's got the New Balances with the suit too, which is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, we love those guys.
That's the guy who gets stuff done. Wears a suit, but he's got some comfortable shoes because he's walking the streets.
It's the get things done uniform. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Not wearing a tie because, what if the tie gets caught in machinery?
Yeah, right. That's something you always have to worry about when you're getting stuff done.
Yep.
Might have to work the loom later.
Might have to spin some textiles.
He's speaking to the Lowell voters, yeah. That's what you guys do out in Lowell, right?
Just all the
textile
voters.
All right, more from John Deaton. This one is a radio ad, so it's just his voice, which is really his best feature.
Meet John Deaton, the political outsider and hard-nosed warrior running for Senate in Massachusetts against radical Elizabeth Warren.
Okay, hang on. Hard-nosed warrior. I just love that.
Yeah.
Hard-nosed warrior. Nothing's getting through this nose.
Nose to the grindstone.
I mean, it's in the name of the show, Rock Hard Caucus. What's a word that sounds like caucus, but it's a nose?
Schnozzage.
Rock hard snossage.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah.
I grew up in real poverty in a dangerous, violent neighborhood and learned life's lessons. I worked my way through college and New England School of Law, living in Roxbury. Joined the Marines.
Oh, fuck you.
Got married and built.
What do you know about Roxbury?
I mean, Roxbury's the hood, you know, and I guess maybe back in his day, but I don't know, man. My fucking... I'll say I've spent some time in Roxbury. Yeah, sure, shit happens there, but I don't know, man. Just fuck you for saying that. I'm sorry.
Is John Deaton code switching on these ads? Does he talk like this in the debates or anything?
I don't know. So the reason I get mad is just because, like, you know, I grew up in the suburbs. I'd go to Roxbury sometimes just for family shit, and it's like...
Night at the Roxbury.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. It was just like the Saturday Night Live movie, and everyone acts like it was like, fuck, what's the movie? Charles Bronson. Everyone acts like Roxbury's like Death Wish.
Yes.
So it's like this guy's trying to be like
the one where they do this, right?
It's yeah.
An advantage of having a video episode is people can see me doing that. Sorry, they act like Roxbury is like Death Wish. I interrupted you with my head movement.
I think that's about my point. It's just like coming from a Republican, it's like that's what you're trying to tell people. Like, oh, I'm a white guy, but I grew up in Roxbury. I'm super tough. Like,
right.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool.
The law practice. I fought for the little guy. I am running for U.S. Senate to shake things up for the people who need it most. Take on the drug and insurance companies. Take on Washington corruption and work to solve the migrant crisis. I know your dreams and your hopes for you and your family because I share them.
I know your dreams.
Will fight for what is right. No fear and never give up.
Visit JohnDeatonForSenate.com.
I'm John Deaton, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by John Deaton for Senate, Inc.
Man, go Boston strong.
Yeah, seriously. So I don't know. That guy's going to take on the insurance agencies. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I believe him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he seems like he's trying to be a Democrat who wants to secure the border. That seems like his position. Like, I guess the question is, why would anyone vote for this guy over Warren?
Yeah, it's only, I guess, if you are racist in a particular way. Because I think he wants... Yeah. He's kind of
But he's not racist. He grew up in Roxbury, so it's like he couldn't be racist, you know?
Right. So when it comes from a guy like me, you know this migrant crisis is out of control.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's a Republican strategy that has been repeated many times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this does seem to be like the issue that he tries to distinguish himself with, because I have another ad here called Massachusetts Border State. And the border, of course, being the Atlantic Ocean, right?
Yeah. I'm going to guess that the word buses is going to come up at some point in this ad. Something about buses.
What about boats?
I'm John Deaton, and I'm running for United States Senate. I'm here at the United States-Mexico border in Yuma, Arizona. As a young Marine officer, I served 3 years at the Marine Air Station not far from where I'm standing. But today, things look very different. Thanks to the failed policy...
This is cut scenes from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he does look like Mike, kind of, with a beard.
Things look very different. Thanks to the failed policies and partisanship of career politicians like Elizabeth Warren, every state is now a border state. And Massachusetts is suffering the consequences. Hundreds of migrants overwhelm our border every day right where I'm standing.
Okay. This part I really wanted to focus on. Hundreds of migrants overwhelm our border every day right where I'm standing. I mean, doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's pretty barren.
Yeah.
You're the only person in the shot. I mean,
you think you'd want to get that visual in there while you made the trip. You paid for the ticket. Like, make the most out of it.
Yeah, at least hire some extras or something, right?
Yeah, get some crisis actors going.
I guess the previous shot showed a bunch of people, but who knows where that's from.
Also, weren't all those people just flown in by Ron DeSantis? Like, you know, like they're just at Martha's Vineyard.
Right, yeah.
every day right where I'm standing. Nearly 12 million over the last 3 years. Our healthcare system and social service agencies are breaking under the weight of this crisis. Chinese fentanyl floods our country through this border and into Massachusetts, where people are struggling with drug addiction. Our veterans and our most vulnerable residents are losing the amenities they rely on while costing our taxpayers billions of dollars. Many migrants simply seeking a better life are the victims of horrific crimes at the hands of the cartels. There are no winners under Elizabeth Warren's failed policies. In the Senate, I'll fight to secure our border and restore common sense to Washington, D.C. I'll support our Border Patrol and law enforcement to keep our nation and Massachusetts communities safe. I'm John Deaton, and I approve this message because our state and our country are worth protecting.
Just like him reverently gazing at the wall.
Yeah. He looks like a small child in a couple of these, like here waving at a helicopter.
We should just be doing like the
trying to get the semi to honk.
Whoa, helicopter.
He didn't say anything about buses. I'll eat that crow.
Whoa, big wall. Yeah, I don't, because he did include that little bit about how the people coming here are just trying to, have a better, safer life, and they're being taken advantage of by criminals or whatever. And it's like, well, like, do you have empathy for them or not? Because you also said that they're like destroying all of our social services.
Yeah, it's really confused messaging. Really confused.
Yeah. Pretty sure most of the people immigrating do not have any connections to the cartel.
It's also not exactly easy to get any social services in the United States.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's probably
even if you are a citizen.
Yeah. Even more difficult if you just got here, I think, to navigate all that.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably lying about people.
Chinese fentanyl. You got to nationalize fentanyl production in America, and legalize it.
Yeah. Fentanyl, it's dangerous because of its potency, right? That's
I think that might put a dent in some of the cartels, financials.
Yeah. We need to be producing these very, very small fentanyl pills so people can get their safe fix of fentanyl. Don't listen to me. I don't know fucking anything about drugs, but yes, legalizing it, as with everything else, would make it safer for everyone. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Agreed.
Anyone know about Royce White? He's also running for Senate.
Yeah, dude, I love Royce White. If you're an Iowa State basketball fan, then he's your guy.
Oh, did he play for Iowa State?
He played for Iowa State, and he flamed out of the NBA. He was, I think, a relatively high NBA draft pick, and he flamed out of the NBA because he was, terrified to fly on planes, I guess, had some sort of, anxiety attack, and now he's, the craziest Senate candidate in the entire country. I'm sure we'll get into it.
Wouldn't he have to get on a plane if he was in the Senate?
Yeah,
that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, he's running in Minnesota, so that's a pretty far drive to Washington, D.C., so I guess you could manage it.
He's probably going to have to get on a plane at some point.
He's probably going to have to get on a plane.
Yeah. Well, Gavin Aronson requested that we look into Royce White, and I didn't very much, but it's good to know that he played basketball for Iowa State. He is running against another of the 2020 Democratic primaries superstars, Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he's running any traditional ads, but I pulled this off of his YouTube.
So. I think he's going to get fucking clobbed. She's going to relish destroying his career.
Yeah, it seems like the Minnesota Republican Party picked a pretty wild candidate to put up for the Senate race. And so this is a video I pulled off of his YouTube that I think will give you a good idea of what he's about.
Whoa, I love it! Humanity has awakened. We are rising from the sleep. This is an incredible time to be alive, and we're going to discover just who's on our side and who isn't.
We have all seen the corruption. Our elites are out of control. And yet the referendum still falls on us.
What was that?
Who was
Is that someone tenderly kissing Hunter Biden's neck?
Oh, that's Joe,
okay. No, it was Joe kissing Hunter. Okay.
Yeah, this is a paternal kiss. Nothing
Look at
wrong or
fucking
weird
Hillary
about it.
just
It's a composite photo.
peeking back.
Okay, there's a bomb in the background too.
Yeah.
Is this Epstein? Who is this?
I think that's Obama.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think.
I think
you're
it'll
right,
zoom
Obama.
out a bit if you, yeah.
Here, I'll play that part again.
Our elites are out of control.
Yeah, that was Obama. Yeah. And this is George Soros, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah. So we know what Royce has been reading online.
Yeah. Well, he was like on Infowars a bunch. Like,
right. If Alex Jones screaming at the beginning of the video.
Oh,
tell you
true. Yeah.
anything.
Right. I forgot about that.
And yet the referendum still falls on us, we the people, to choose better for ourselves and this nation.
That sure was a lot of people.
This is the most dangerous time in American history. Plans have been made, agendas set into motion, our freedoms and well-being hang in the balance.
And now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there.
The mainstream media lobby.
Critical
error.
World order.
Yeah, that's a downside of. I guess that's an upside for Biden. Is like you cannot make that man seem intimidating, even when you like pull like a soundbite like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, an old man mumbling new world order out there. It's like, okay, like even the people who like really worry about new world order, they hear that and
they're like,
okay,
we're
well,
fine. You don't need to turn out for this one.
And defends the corruption with little to no shame.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
That's interesting that he included that. What was that? Sinclair Broadcasting, who had all of their local affiliates do like the same piece on the same night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's interesting that this like super right wing guy is pointing that out.
Elected officials target their political opponents with lawfare. The courts see it through, knowing full well the threat it poses to the very fabric of America. Big tech, big pharma, big finance, all conspire with the federal government to suppress and omit certain information when they see fit.
Oppressing information.
More corrupt than any of that is this idea that your citizenship is global.
Oh, whoa.
What?
I'll try to catch that.
Global.
Okay, yeah, so I guess he played a game and he had the word "Sound of Freedom" written on his head.
He was in the Big Three, which is like Ice Cube's like 3-on-3 basketball league. That's like got a bunch of old players and whoever wants to be in it who would make them money, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was doing crazy stuff. I think he like did a protest against the Uyghur genocide and like, he's insane. He's also like the most misogynistic person, like I think maybe to ever run for office at a high level.
Interesting.
Like,
what about Mike Pike though?
Well, he's woke. I think we've already discussed that.
All right, he wants women to not work for good reasons, like me.
Yeah, right.
So is Microsoft on his jersey? Is that like a joke or?
No, that means that they own his personhood. Actually,
yeah, okay, cool.
that's what he's railing against.
Yeah, this just reminds me of when we saw that lady at the state fair wearing a homemade "Sounds of Freedom" shirt. You remember that?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Your citizenship is not global; it's national, and it has a value.
Wrong.
That value begins with the competence of a country's government and security of
the competence of the government, accompanied by a video of Biden just like falling off of a podium.
Yeah.
Really solid stuff.
its border, both physically and economically. We are not slaves, we are not serfs. Our children are not sexual experiments. We cannot submit to being guinea pigs for mad scientists.
Gain of function t-shirt. Awesome.
Oh, man. With evil Dr. Fauci smiling in the background.
We cannot allow ourselves to be othered by virtue signaling tech nerds.
We cannot allow ourselves to be othered by virtue signaling tech nerds.
What's that Microsoft fucking patch doing though?
Yeah, I can't. What is the point of the Microsoft patch on his jersey?
I mean, I assume they're just a sponsor of the big three as a whole.
Yeah.
That's like that's a thing that in the last like decade is all these sports organizations are just putting ads on jerseys.
Yeah. But I just like, is it sincere or is this supposed to be some sort of protest?
No, I think he just wanted to show the cool Jesus is King shirt.
We cannot bend the knee for totalitarian governments like the CCP or any other international body.
Free the Uyghurs, 2 million ethnic minorities
there we go.
in East Turkestan, China, in concentration camps. Something we got to talk about. You don't free the Uyghurs.
We are American citizens, and that means something. Or at least it will when you have America First leaders.
And to destroy the Democratic Party as a national political institution, root and branch, from the Rio Grande Valley all the way up to Royce White running against Omar in Minnesota.
Oh, right. He ran against Ilhan Omar for Congress last time around, got his ass beat, so now he's aiming higher. Steve Bannon got a lot of airtime there in this ad. That was like a full 10 seconds.
I think he's real tight with Steve Bannon.
That's good.
I think they're podcasting together. He's like he's just a podcast guy.
Gotcha. So we're peers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Should have him on the show.
I'm running for United States Senate in the great state of Minnesota, my home, against Democrat Amy Klobuchar, to represent the common interests of the American people.
That was a Matt Taibbi article in the background. I don't know if you caught that. A real clear politics article by Matt Taibbi called "Amy Klobuchar, You Are the Worst." Everything in this ad was carefully selected.
Oh yeah.
To transmit the correct America First ideals into the viewer.
Common interests of the American people and fight the momentum of tyranny. Please join us at roycewhite.us for more information.
And we're peers because we have the same domain. What is that called?
Patriotic.
Like we're rockhardcock.us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's that part called? The .com domain, the .net. I don't remember what that's called.
I don't either.
Yeah.
It's not a prefix, but you wouldn't really call it a suffix either. I don't know. But he's got a .us domain, just like us. We're a lot like Royce White, actually.
Fight continues. Godspeed.
Hell yeah. If you weren't watching the video, you missed out, because that very cinematic ending was something to see.
He also recently got in trouble for saying that the bad guys won World War II.
I saw that.
Which is
very hot take. Yeah.
Yeah. Not going to get a lot of people on your side on that one.
Yeah, you need a lot of context to be able to pull that one off.
Yeah. Well, he said, controlling interests at a jump ball. If you look closely, you see the link between liberalism and communism and the Allied forces. I think there might be a stronger link between liberalism and fascism, actually.
Yeah, but that's the exact wrong take if you're going to say the bad guys won World War II.
Allied with the fascists against communism. That was kind of the whole thing with the Cold War. But anyway, he's also added, remember what General Patton said and why they capped him. Which he died in a car accident, or as a result of a car accident. So,
well,
I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really aware I didn't realize there was like really conspiracy theories about that.
I haven't heard any.
Yeah,
but
I think
there's got to be.
Royce White's on the forefront. He's on the forefront of conspiracy theory.
Yeah, if you're going to say that the bad guys won World War II, you have to still be clear that the Nazis were the bad guys, I think.
Yeah.
And you look at the following 50 years and sort of analyze, what happened to the Nazi scientists and stuff. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What happened to global policy?
What happened to the United States and West German governments conspiring to keep Nazis hidden, because if they were to be found out, then they would find that they had been like highly influential in the Western German government. There's a lot there.
Yeah. I don't think the connection between liberalism and communism is the
if we expose these Nazis, then they might find the other Nazis that were like more useful to us.
Let's see. We haven't talked about Lennon Beckham today. Let's get into that. I don't think have I played any Congressional Leadership Fund PAC ads? Did I play any of those last week?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I really like their sort of house style. All their ads kind of look the same, and they produce ads for like every congressional race in the country, and it's all kind of the same playbook and the same visuals. So here's a couple that they have run against Lennon Beckham, who's running in Iowa's 3rd district.
How often do you delete your tweets? Because Lennon Beckham does it all the time. Here.
Okay, well, let's answer the question. How often do I delete my tweets? Absolutely never. I stand by everything I've ever posted on the internet. 100%. I am an honorable man.
One of the strongest posters out there. Deleting tweets, though, I mean, that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. It doesn't have to. You don't have to have a permanent record of everything you've ever said on the internet. You know.
Sure. Yeah. Well, remember we listened to that Simon Conway interview, and he like really hammered him for this.
Yeah.
Who deleted the tweets, Lennon?
What are the tweets, though? Like, if it's just like, oh, I went to lunch, like, yeah, delete that shit. I'll vote for him if he deleted that post. But, like, what's he saying?
Well, here's one on the screen now. Back in November of 2020, he had a virtual phone bank with Mark Hamill, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Was Mark Hamill canceled? Like, is that a bad association?
Mark Hamill is canceled. Fuck Luke Skywalker.
Because he did woke Star Wars, so he had to delete that tweet so people wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I think isn't that all he does now? Is just like promote Democrats and do campaign events and stuff.
And Ukraine,
probably. I don't know.
He's real big into Ukraine.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, good versus evil, mapping Star Wars onto geopolitics.
Yeah, it is shameful. I have a lot of respect for Mark Hamill's work as both Luke Skywalker and the Joker, who we've mentioned a few times today. But not good politics. I think shut up and dribble. That's what I say to Mark Hamill.
Here too.
Okay, there's another one. He and his family standing in front of a bus that says voted early. Is that a bus? Yeah, it's a bus.
Oh, so he doesn't want people to know he's associated with voting.
Yeah. Right.
What's Beckham hiding? Beckham's
you just showed
another
us.
DC Democrat, all in for Biden and Harris. Beckham worked in the Biden-Harris administration, all in for their open borders, higher taxes.
Okay, he worked for the USDA. Like I doubt he had much to do with this stuff.
But now that Beckham's on the ballot, he's trying to delete his past. Washington has enough dishonest political hacks. Say no to Lennon Beckham. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
They really want us to care about his deleted
Yeah, I
posts.
don't understand
who gives a
why.
shit?
Like, oh, am I supposed to be surprised that the Democratic Senate candidate supported Joe Biden? Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Biden is not very popular in Iowa, so I mean, one, it makes sense that a Democrat supported Biden. Two, it makes sense that he's not really going to make that front and center of his congressional campaign.
Right.
I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
And they seem to choose a lot of pictures of him that make him look very young. That's kind of the impression I got from this ad. He looks really young in all of these.
Yeah, he does.
Do you want a baby in Congress? Is that what you want?
But Zach Nunn also looks like a baby.
It's true. It's War of the Babies.
Mm.
Here, I don't know if you know what Zach Nunn looks like, Tony, so let me show you Zach Nunn. Here's an ad called Common Sense.
Like most Iowans, I support common sense limits on abortion.
And as he always does with that E vowel, he said, common sense.
And I'll tell you exactly where I stand. I'm pro-life with exceptions.
Just incoherent. I'm pro-life, but not all life.
Can you rewind like 2 seconds?
Yeah.
I'm pro-life with exceptions.
Are those backpacks on the couch his?
Good. I'm glad you caught that. A big part of his public image is, I guess he and his wife are foster parents, so he's got to make that a subtle reference to that in the background. Like, look at all these fucking kids we got around here.
I see. He's a real. Is he a boy dad or a girl dad?
He's both.
He's a they dad.
Oh fuck, he's just a dad. He didn't pick a gender.
He's just a regular dad.
See, I don't trust that. I don't trust a man who doesn't specialize. You know.
You got to pick one gender to be good at parenting.
Yeah,
because
when you have
think about how many bathrooms. Think about how many bathrooms you typically have in a house. Usually just one.
Yeah, that's right. I bet they've got at least 2 in their house.
Hey, he does look like a well-to-do baby.
I will say a previous ad of his that we watched did spotlight 2 of their adopted children, both of whom were girls. So I think he does want us to be leaning towards girl dad.
Okay. All right.
And there was a disappearing boy who was in one shot and not in another.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Pro-life with exceptions. I've led on expanded access to contraceptives and IVF, and I oppose a federal abortion ban. Lenon Bakam, he supports the most extreme abortion laws in the world. Taxpayer-funded abortions up until the moment of birth. Look, good people can disagree on abortion, but Lenon Bakam is too extreme. I'm Zach Nunn, and I approve this message.
There they are. Here, there's that cat again. Star of the show last episode.
Hell yes.
We love him. That is a lot of girls. He is mostly girl dadding in this shot.
Oh yeah, he's only got the one boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's practically like an adult too.
Yeah, teenage boys, like boys already, not as good, and the older they are, the less good they are for a political campaign.
That's been true in my life. Yeah. Let me ask you this. He said good people can disagree on abortion. Do you agree?
I don't think so. At least I don't know. If you're like aware of the consequences and you're still on that, then no.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think disagreements make for good people. If you want to be a good person, you have to agree with everything.
I also think there's a lot of like people who are just so propagandized from such a young age that you can't necessarily like, I don't know. They're totally divorced from like the reality of what the policies they support are like doing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to take it seriously, you do have to have some grace for how fucked up the media ecosystem is in this country and like religious, brainwashing and stuff. Yeah. Well, let's give Lenon a little space to speak for himself. I think this is the most recent of his ads. Let me put this one on.
351. That's how many days I was boots on the ground in Afghanistan, defending our country.
Love a democratic troop.
This is his thing, yeah. And he's running against an Air Force baby, so they gotta both play up their service record.
So it's wrong, or straight up lying, to say I won't do everything to keep Iowans safe. I'm for giving police and county sheriffs all the tools they need.
Suck my dick. Look at that gun he has. Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Where's he deploying to?
And some zip tie handcuffs so he can detain someone and then send them to Abu Ghraib.
How many days has this guy been boots on the ground in fucking Urbandale? Like,
And I'm for more border patrol, to secure the border and take on cartels. That is the truth. I'm Lenon Bakam. I approve this message. I swore an oath to protect Iowans, and I always will.
Boo. Here, this is probably along the same lines. This one's called Safety.
I've got a 9-year-old daughter, and I defend...
We've seen a lot of that 9-year-old daughter. She's been front and center.
Yeah, he's a girl dad. Lenon is certified girl dad.
Absolutely girl dad.
Our country in Afghanistan. I'm Lenon Bakam, and you better believe I'll do everything in my power to keep Iowa families safe. That includes fully funding local law enforcement.
Is that guy law enforcement? It's just a blue shirt.
He has the appearance of a law enforcement officer, I will say. If I had to guess his occupation, that would be pretty far up on the list, I think.
Yeah. This ad is not keeping us safe from fucking sick guitar riffs.
Adding more border agents. And and stopping the flow of fentanyl into our communities. Anybody who says different is just making stuff up. I approve this message because, unlike Washington politicians, I'll never play politics with American safety.
Damn.
Did I imagine that being guitar? It was kind of more like dubstep stuff, but anyway. Still, we're not being kept safe.
Man.
Yeah.
He's fucking tough as hell.
If there's one thing I can say about Lanambacom, it's fucking... This looks a lot like the Michael Dukakis in the tank photo. There's a disclaimer at the bottom of this too. Use of military rank and photos in uniform does not imply endorsement by the U.S. Army or the Department of Defense. Well,
Good to know.
It might imply it. You can't say if it does or not. Implications are what they are. They're in the eye of the beholder. Maybe that's not your intention. All right, what else do I got here? Maybe let's end on some like weird minuscule state stuff. People that we've never even heard of. Oh no, we have heard of this one. Let's give her a chance. Remember Kay Pence? I interviewed her on a recent episode. She was one of my favorites of that crowd of people. So here's some stuff that she's running on Facebook. There's no voiceover on this, so you got to watch the video and read the text. Okay, I'll read it to you, everyone. It's a photo of Norlin Momsen. Tony, you ever heard of Norlin Momsen?
His word has not reached the East Coast, I feel confident saying.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a photo of Norlin on a little stumpy cartoon man body. And the ad says, Norlin doesn't trust teachers. Norlin wrote a bill to surveil teachers in their classrooms. Norlin voted to ban books and topics he doesn't understand. The bill to surveil teachers, Tony, was pretty much exactly what it sounds like, but like taken to a pretty extreme level. Live streaming cameras in every public classroom in the state, which parents can tune into on a sort of central, streaming platform.
So when you say parents, like, are we going to like twitch.tv? Like, is this an open thing? Do you have to have like a membership? Who's running security on these feeds?
Yeah. I think that was the main concern when he proposed this. Was,
I think people said, wait, we have to think about the practical applications of this and how it's completely fucking insane and will never happen.
Yeah.
This is Kay. Kay supports teachers. Kay knows Iowa's teachers are passionate about education. Kay trusts our educators and fuck it. I knew that was going to happen. All right. My one criticism, Kay, is this moves a little too fast for that big paragraph there. Kay trusts our educators and local school boards to create the best lesson plans for our students. Okay, now compare this image of Kay Pence. Looks like a nice woman. To this of Norlin Momsen. He's kind of a little trollish character.
A little Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, a little gremlin of a man. It's a fucking Robotnik ass. Fucking, what's his?
Norlin Momsen. I got to give Kay credit for kind of going for the jugular there. I mean, the visual comparison.
Yeah.
She got his ass. This election, vote for the candidate who trusts and supports our community. Vote for Kay.
Oh, she fucking killed him with the logo. He's dead.
That's right.
Yeah.
Boom. Gone.
Should have added like a gunshot noise with that.
I'm so glad you mentioned guns. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was going to say, I like that she's significantly taller than him as well.
She could bully him. She could just push him over. Like run him up the flagpole.
Yeah. Well, he does have, I would imagine, a low center of gravity because his head is the same size as the rest of his body.
That's like true.
He's a very solid object.
He might actually be like a good wrestler, yeah.
Okay, this is another one that I pulled from Facebook. So there's like a meta-based page where you can like look up every ad that's being run in a certain geographic area. Same as with the Google repository I was looking at. And the Facebook stuff is, I don't know. I mean, they're both pretty weird. There's some weird shit coming up on both of those. But here's something I got from Facebook.
Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with Iowa gun owners. If you're a gun voter in House District 87, we're talking about Mount Pleasant, Fairfield, Keosauqua, Farmington, this section of southeast Iowa, take a few moments and watch this video as we break down where Jeff Shipley and Thomas O'Donnell stand on your gun rights. Guys.
Okay. Let me draw your attention to how long is this video?
It's like 8 minutes. I noticed that immediately. I was like, oh, that bar's moving a little slow.
Yeah. So we're not going to watch all this, obviously, but there are several of these running right now. The Iowa gun owners are running ads in like a bunch of different state Senate districts, several minutes long, comparing the candidates on gun rights.
Yeah, I like its AR,
a good amount on that.
I like its AR-15 pin, and I also like that they are on gab.io or whatever the fuck.
They got a
I was just wondering.
I was like, where do I follow these guys? Oh yeah, Gab. You know.
Jeff Shipley is a relatively famous state senator as well. He's got a lot of gender problems. He really hates gender, but he likes drugs, so he's got that going for him. So it really is just an 8-minute video of a guy like pointing at stuff on a whiteboard.
Yeah. So like I'm wondering like how much, I'm assuming ad space on Gab's pretty cheap. Facebook probably costs more, but are you paying by like the minute, by the second?
There has to be some consideration for how long the video is, right? Like a 30-second ad can't cost as much as an 8-minute ad.
Yeah. Is that why they're not running on Twitter? Just because, like, it's got to be 8 minutes. We can't get our message out in less than that.
Yeah. I mean, look at all this information on the whiteboard. You know, you think I can cover that in 60 seconds? Fuck no.
I like them writing out "share online" on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, all you need to know is what the bottom says: Jeff Shipley, 100% pro-gun, and Thomas O'Donnell, gun grabber! Exclamation point.
That's why it's in red.
Yeah.
He's going to grab your guns.
All of this 8-minute ad just to say, vote for the Republican because they are more pro-gun than the Democrats.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need 8 minutes to get that message out. You really don't.
Yeah, I doubt it. Okay, we can end with this. This is a video about Eddie Andrews, who is running in Iowa House District 43. He's an incumbent.
Eddie Andrews is not making our schools safe and welcome to all kids, and I don't think that he represents the values of most of his constituents. I think he has extremist views. He voted for SF 496, which is the book banning law. He voted to take public dollars away from public schools and funnel it towards private schools. He made me concerned for the future of schools for my two sons. Eddie Andrews is not honest, and he will say anything to get elected.
That's actually not the one I was looking for. Give me 1 second here.
I was going to say that one kind of...
Yeah. I was like...
My mind actually kind of wandered during it. She has like a book. She has a book called Moo on her bookshelf. I'm like, what the hell is Moo about?
Moo.
Moo
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd read that actually.
Yeah. Picture book about Moo Dang.
Hell yeah, dude.
There's one about abortion. I got to just find it real quick. Who's he running against? Who's he running against, damn it?
Trying to identify other books on this bookshelf, but
I'm looking up Moo. It looks like a kid's book, which I guess makes sense. She's a teacher.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm disorganized this time around. I could have sworn I had something else on Eddie Andrews.
I gotta pee if you need a minute.
No, let me just show you this image.
No,
pee.
You're not allowed to piss.
Pee.
I'll just piss my pants. All right, I'm pissing right now.
Hey, I'm holding it too, brother.
Okay, let me just pull this up. Okay,
my mind's wandering as well.
All right.
Almost done. But speaking of Eddie Andrews, this is an image that the Iowa Democratic Party tweeted the other day. Maybe it might have been 2 weeks ago at this point, but here, just look at this image. It's top of it, Iowa Democratic Party logo. And it reads, with Iowa's abortion law in place, banning most procedures after 6 weeks. What, if anything, does the legislature need to do to ensure access to fertility treatments or contraception? Okay, I don't know who's asking this. Maybe the Iowa Democratic Party's asking it. I don't know. And then below that, it says, Andrews. It's not a 6-week abortion ban. It's more of the heartbeat, which could depend on the woman, right? If you're thin, it may be 6 weeks. If you're curvy, it could be 8 or 10 weeks. The issue is when life is detected based on the heartbeat. That's what the legislature passed. Now, I just played for you a video about this guy, so you know it's Eddie Andrews. But if you were just presented with this image, who the fuck is Andrews? And what is the Iowa Democratic Party trying to communicate with this image?
Yeah, I mean,
So that
not very
ad
good.
that I showed you maybe is kind of effective at talking about Eddie Andrews, though it seems like you both got bored by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also just posted this on like the Iowa Democrats own Twitter page. It wasn't like for whatever Clinton County or whatever race this is actually in. This is just broadcast to anyone who follows Iowa Democrats.
All right, so and I am going to betray just how much I wasn't paying attention. Is Eddie Andrews the Republican candidate?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now it tracks. But I did need a lot of help to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the ad is maybe a little more effective than this, but the ad wasn't great. But this is abominable.
Was this just a JPEG uploaded to Twitter?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
The fuck was it?
Now, in the tweet, they did refer to Republican lawmaker Eddie Andrews. So if you had read but the thing is, if you're going to post an image, that's what your eyes go to first,
Right.
Yeah, you got to have it all be self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you shouldn't take these 2 paragraphs, put your logo at the top, save it as an image, and upload it somewhere.
Right.
There was part of me wondering, was just sort of is Andrews the Democratic guy? Is he equivocating on the abortion ban?
Is he being sarcastic or...
I don't know about the science of this, but a pregnant person, if you're thin, the fetus can have a heartbeat at 6 weeks, and if you are what he calls curvy, it could be 8 to 10 weeks before your fetus has a heartbeat.
So he's expressing a preference for curvy women, is what he's doing.
Maybe, because it takes longer to cook the baby.
Yeah,
he likes that.
It depends on if
well,
he
no,
prefers
he's saying the flaw
baby.
isn't as bad. If you're curvy, it's not as big of a deal.
Oh, okay,
so
gotcha.
It's kind of what's the opposite of fat phobic?
Skinny phobic?
Body positive. It's a body positive law.
Thin phobic?
I think that's giving him a lot of credit to call that body positive.
Yeah.
So yeah, look. If you're worried about the abortion law, just gain some weight. All right.
Yeah.
I know I'm doing it.
Yes, this law is about controlling women's bodies because I'm trying to incentivize you to grow. Just a fucking crazy thing to say. I don't think he understands the issue. I don't think he cares about it that much. And I think there are better ways for the Iowa Democratic Party to, broadcast that about him. Right?
It's a good soundbite to, say that he said, because it sounds fucking awful. But the way they presented it was just really clumsy.
Right. There are better ways to use that, I think. Okay, well,
yeah.
We can leave things there for today because my co-hosts both need to empty their bladders, and I would like to thank both of you for watching those awesome videos with me, and I would like to thank everyone at home for hopefully watching the videos with us and not just listening. This is a watch this as a video. That's the better way to do it. Well, now you're at the end, so it's too late. But if you listen to it only, go back, experience the whole thing over again by watching it. Waste more of your time with us.
Yeah. You don't have to do that.
No, they have to.
Okay, I'm sorry, Justin. They have to do that.
They have to do it.
Justin says it. Don't listen to me. Listen to Justin. I know that's what you do anyway, so.
Another thing you have to do, go check out patreon.com/rockhardcaucus. You have to go there. You don't necessarily have to give us money, but at least look at it. And this episode is releasing on October 27th. And if you are in Iowa City, another thing you have to do is go to Close House tonight for some weird music. Ross Klauser is coming down from Minneapolis to play a set, and the Christine Burke Ensemble will be opening for him. We're playing a piece that I wrote. We're playing a piece that Christine wrote. It's going to be a good time. Come on out to Close House tonight. I think the show's starting at 7, maybe 7:30. But if you're there at 7, you're there with plenty of time. Anyway, but you have to go if you're nearby. That's what I'm commanding you to do.
Yeah, listen to him.
And now I command you, Tony and Evan, to go pee.
Right now. I'm doing it right now.
Oh, right. Yep, you said you already were. So
yeah. I'm still going. I'll
been going
start.
For minutes
I'll start.
Are we diped up, fellas?
Every day.
Hey, you don't need to wear
day.
diapers at home, man. You just we got fresh garments on the ready, bro.
Yeah, that's the biggest endorsement of property rights I've ever heard. From a libertarian, no dice at home.
Yeah,
I gotta stop the recording now before we take this any further.